In a world of 3D printing, should companies still make complete polymer guns? What is going on, my beautiful LARPers and LARPettes? Today, we're going to go over the Smith & Wesson Response. Now, this gun has been out for, I believe, a couple of months now, maybe longer, but I did get this maybe in December, around there. And before I get into all the details on this response, what is my relationship with Smith & Wesson? Smith & Wesson does send me firearms. They have been sending me firearms for the past 3 years or so, maybe more, maybe 4 years. But yeah, they send me guns out for review for free. They do not pay me for any of these reviews every time they send me a firearm. Now let's get right into the details of this response here. You're getting a 16-inch barrel. This gun is chambered in 9mm, if I didn't mention that already. I do have a little CCX suppressor from JK Armament here. It is threaded in 1/2x28. Moving on back, you're getting a full polymer constructed rail here. And if I didn't already mention, a large portion of this gun is polymer. And I'll go over all the polymer parts and tell you what's the metal parts that are on this, right? So rail is all polymer construction. And it is M-LOK all the way around, and you do have a bunch of basically M-LOK slots on this guy that you can put lights, lasers, grips, whatever you want. But right here in the middle, it is blocked off. So those little sections that are blocked off, they are textured to give you a little bit better grip. To me, I just feel like I did not need that because that's usually where I have a hand stop at anyways. So right there is basically right on the money, and I can't put anything there just because it's blocked off. So I have to either put it back here or up here, and for me, it's not really natural with my size arms. So I would like it right there where they put those little pieces there. So yeah, that's unfortunate that for me, that's not gonna work out. Now moving on back, you do get a full polymer constructed upper receiver. And I'm usually concerned when it comes to the whole upper receiver being polymer, just because the 1913 section up top, to me, it just, in my brain, it's like, okay, if I put an optic on there, it might lose zero faster than an aluminum one just because there might be flex, or if I crank these bolts down too hard, I might crunch into that receiver there. And so far, it's been holding zero. I have not had any issues with this upper whatsoever. But moving on back to the charging handle, you do get a polymer charging handle. To me, I don't know, it just feels a little weird having a polymer constructed charging handle back there on a AR-9, AR-15 style platform, right? If a round got stuck in there and I maybe needed to mortar that on the ground, I'm afraid of breaking this thing. But I mean, I can flex that pretty well, and I don't see any type of stress on this guy. I mean, maybe I could break it if I tried hard enough, but so far that thing's been running. But your bolt is all metal, so that's a good thing. I mean, I don't really know any companies that will make a polymer bolt because, yeah, I don't think that'll last very long. But so far on this gun, the upper receiver has not shifted zero and has been working completely fine. Moving on down to the rear portion here. Magpul stock, metal buffer tube, metal castle nut, metal backplate. You do get a metal buffer in there. The buffer is, I'll probably put up a photo somewhere around here so you can see it. The buffer is pretty beefy and heavy to give you a dead blow for that 9mm recoil that's coming back into that buffer tube. And I want to focus right here on the rear of the lower receiver here. On AR-15s, I had a polymer receiver maybe back in, I would have to say like back in 2012-ish, 2013-ish or somewhere around there, maybe later. But it was a long time ago where I had a polymer receiver. And it was an AR-15 receiver. I believe it was, I don't know if it was a Mega receiver, maybe I'm wrong. That receiver did break on me maybe within the first week I had it. So this was a notorious spot right here in this portion, right where that takedown pin is. That was a very notorious spot for a lower receiver that's polymer to break on you. It would usually snap right in half right there. Maybe it was from the stress of the rifle coming back into your shoulder that was causing that. But you can tell on this particular one here, it is extremely beefed up at the back end there. So I'm guessing Smith & Wesson took notes on all the other lower receivers that were AR-15 style, said, hey, let's beef this thing up so that way it doesn't break in that certain point. And I can see that's exactly where they beefed it up. It's super thick right there at the back where mine broke years ago. So good on Smith & Wesson for doing that there. Now moving on down, the trigger is a flat face metal trigger, and you do get your, basically your lower parts kit that's in here is all metal. Your safety selector, it's not ambidextrous unfortunately, but you do get your normal ping pong paddle on there, which is also not ambidextrous, and you do get a magazine release right there that is also metal. Now the trigger, I think it's pretty nice. It to me just reminds me of a maybe a little bit more polished mil-spec trigger that's flat, or maybe it's just playing tricks on me that it's a flat face mil-spec trigger, but I think it's a decent trigger for what you're getting out of this rifle there. Now moving on to another cool feature is the grip. This is basically an M&P 2.0 grip that's made for an AR-15, right? So if you're already carrying an M&P 9 2.0 or an M&P 40 2.0, whatever it is, a 2.0 handgun line, if you're carrying one of those, you're gonna have basically the same exact grip angle and everything on that handgun as you do this M&P, or not the M&P, this Smith & Wesson Response here. So it feels exactly like the handguns that they produce. Also, I didn't mention that you don't have a dust cover and you don't have a forward assist. I have about maybe 3 AR-9s that don't have dust covers or forward assist, so I think that's a pretty common thing to get out of a 9mm PCC type gun. Now moving on to this portion right here, and I want to focus a lot on this here just because I think this is kind of what makes this gun. This is called their Flex Mag system. So essentially what you're getting is a mag well that is swappable to take basically your more popular magazines, your more popular double stack magazines. So this one is for the M&P 9 magazines. It did come with a Glock mag version, which I don't know where the hell I put that thing. It does come with a Glock one, and you do have the option of getting a SIG 320 magazine. I don't know what other ones they have. I haven't really looked into that, but they do have a SIG P320 version. I did talk to Smith & Wesson, and I kind of mentioned, hey, maybe we should, or you guys should start making some other PCC type magazines, right? I think it'll really look cool with a CZ like banana Scorpion magazine there. So Scorpion mags would be cool. Some of you guys are into Colt magazines. What other magazines are out there? I don't really care for the B&T ones just because they're a little bit expensive, but yeah, so just different flavors of magazines that are PCC centered, like the CZ guns, are pretty cool. Now that about does it for all of the features, guys. It's a full polymer constructed AR-9, and I have about 800 rounds to this. If I remember correctly, I have around maybe a little over 800 rounds. I usually count the boxes that I have while I'm out at the range, or I keep them in the back of my truck when I'm doing a review, and I kind of count all the boxes when I get home, or I'm cleaning out the back of my truck and stuff like that from that session. So 800 rounds to this thing to be on the safe side, and 0 malfunctions whatsoever. And I want to emphasize on the malfunctions portion, just because I know there's a lot of concern around this firearm when it comes to the issue it's been having, or the issue that I've seen. I haven't really read up on anybody else having this issue, but you might have seen the video if you're looking at this video. Mr. Guns and Gear did have a pretty catastrophic failure where he had a out of battery detonation and it kind of blew this apart. This is also one that I got probably around the same time that he got his, because I got mine maybe towards the end of December. And the ones that were affected apparently are pre-February 12th, so like a couple weeks ago. If you got one before that or something like that, I'll put up a photo here on which ones are affected. They're giving you a safety recall or a safety notice to say, hey, you should send it in to get it fixed. Now me, the way I do my reviews, right? I get the gun and I purposely don't watch any videos or don't read any type of information on it whatsoever. So that way when I go out and shoot it, I can formulate my own opinion, then write it all down. And then when I'm gonna do these talking points, I go and watch a couple of videos and be like, okay, well, yeah, we kind of had the same idea when it came to that. Or, oh yeah, that guy's right. Like I did see that in it, or I did have that same issue. And I could kind of confirm when I'm doing this talking portion with you. Now, I didn't know about this safety recall notice at all up until like maybe a week ago when I was researching videos and stuff like that to confirm all of the data I gathered. Now, coming across Mr. Guns and Gear's channel, I saw that he did have that catastrophic failure, and I was like, holy crap, like that's not good. He got his second one fixed and it was completely fine and working from there. And I haven't read anybody else that has had that issue. Unless I'm missing something and you guys see something, put a comment down below. But I feel like if I would have saw Mr. Guns and Gear's video and came back and grabbed this gun and shot this, I probably would have been babying it a little bit more. I probably would have not done a lot of the things that I did do maybe in the intro that you've seen there. And as of now, again, no issues whatsoever. I did come back and look at all those little things that Mr. Guns and Gear did mention on his channel, and I didn't have any of those issues. This thing is working completely fine. I'm running exclusively Fiocchi 115 9mm through this thing. Zero malfunctions, not even a failure to feed, failure to extract, none of that. Also, to add to that, if you saw a little photo of the bolt, right, it should show that there's two markings on it if it was fixed, right? So if it was sent to the actual manufacturer, they put those little like hash marks next to the 9mm symbol, and then they would send it to you back indicating that it's fixed. So that's one way if you were to buy one of these off of somebody, or hopefully they're coming like that out of the shop now to show that there are the ones that are fixed. That's something to look for, so that way it can give you some peace of mind. Me, I did not send mine in to get it fixed whatsoever, and I don't think I'm going to send mine in just to see. I mean, again, this is a full disclaimer here. Smith & Wesson knows there's a problem. I am not sending mine in to that way. Just see if it was just a one-off problem that Mr. Guns and Gear had, and just keep testing mine out and giving you guys another report that mine is functioning completely fine as it is now. But overall, I think this is a very cool little gun. I'm a big fan of that whole flex mag system there. I'm not really a huge fan of the full polymer construction, but I get what they're trying to go for here. They're trying to go for one, weight savings, two is the price, and three, they want you to have this whole system here at the ready where you can just swap in and out whenever you want to. So this thing's coming around, I think $700 or something like that. So it's not a extremely expensive rifle to get in your hands. There are maybe some cheaper options out there, but as far as that flex mag system, I don't really see any of that in this price bracket. And I think this would be a cool option for somebody that's maybe getting into the PCC competition realm and they're beginners, right? So they don't want to spend, I mean, I have a lot of PCC friends, and usually when they get a PCC, they completely revamp the whole thing. They upgrade the BCG and the buffer and all that stuff, and it costs them a pretty penny. So this one coming right around $700, where you can utilize whatever mag you probably already have. Maybe you're carrying a Glock 19, you probably have Glock 19 mags, so just stick in this thing. So very cool option for those of you that are probably getting into the PCC realm competition. Other than that, another option, if you're training and you don't want to spend all that ammo on 5.56, you can come and pick one of these up for $700 and shoot 9mm all day for, I don't even know the prices now, but I'm still guessing it's about half the price of 5.56 ammo. Now, how do you feel about the Response line? Do you think it's too much plastic? Do you think it's, hey, it's right there where the price is right, the features are good, the flex mag is good, I could swap that out and you're good to go? Or do you think that they should have made something different with this line here? I personally think that they should come out with a shorter version, maybe a 8.5 inch or a 10 inch, where you can make it into like a little truck gun or something like that, a little PDW type gun. I think that'll be really cool with a Scorpion magazine. But other than that, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a cool option? Are there other options out there that you would consider? Did you have any concern about that whole out of battery issue with these? Did it surprise you that I didn't have any issues with it? What do you guys think of this down below? And as always, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I love you all, appreciate you all. Catch you in the next one.